the engine is the soundtrack, the best that you can have. 12-cylinder is the best sound, the best emotional sound you can have while you're driving on a road. Horsepower, we have plenty of it, 770 horsepower at 8,500 RPM, but also the value of torque is remarkable, it's 720 Newton meter, 80% of that available already at low revs. And this basically is giving the sensation that only a V12 engine can provide of an infinite acceleration from the idle to the limiter at 8,700 RPM.
Thank you. Okay, I think we'll move to the front now, because obviously the next most critical thing in this car is the aerodynamics. Aerodynamics is a constantly evolving science. You guys are working all the time, flat out. ALA is the acronym here. Can you explain firstly what that stands for, and also how it works on the SVJ?
Okay. Yeah, of course, ALA means, is in Italian, it means wing, and it's acronyms for Active Aerodynamics Lamborghini. And it's a really innovative idea that we launched on the Performante, and now we can have here on the SVJ an updated and more enhanced version. And so it's mainly based on two critical contents. The first one here, we have two slots with rotating flaps. And basically when it's closed, you can have the maximum downforce, so the maximum load on the front. And when it's open, you can have really an airflow that goes through the slots into the underbody of the car. So in this case you have less load, and this is what you would like to have to reduce drag when you are looking for top acceleration. But the most innovative thing, of course, as you can see, is also remarkable in terms of design, is the rear carbon fiber wing. It has a really innovative design. It's called high load airfoil design. And also this side plates has a role in the aerodynamics itself, because they are avoiding vortex. And ALA is mainly based by these air vents. So what's happening basically? The air can flow through these air vents into this inner pillar, and then here inside we have two ducts, and on the bottom of the wing we have some hose. So basically, as you can understand, here we have also two flaps, and when you need, in high, for example, in high-speed corner in the maximum downforce, the flaps are closed, and in this way you have the maximum downforce. And we're speaking about 40% more compared to the Aventador SV. There was already a car with a really good aerodynamic. On the other hand, of course, as you can understand, downforce means drag. So it could be something that you would like to avoid while you are facing a straight. So you're coming out the corner, you would like to have the top acceleration, you would like to reach top speed, and you don't want to have drag. So the idea of the ALA is this one, that in this case we are opening the flaps. Opening the flaps is letting the air flowing through this inner pillar, through the ducts, and then coming out here on the bottom of the wing. We are creating vortex, and basically we are stalling the wing. So it's like the wing is not here. So at the end of the day, the drag is also reduced in comparison to the previous Aventador SV by 1%. That is a lot. If you can understand that on the other hand, we can leverage on 40% more on downforce. Of course, it's not ended here. I mean, ALA is really innovative, and because of it, we're also looking for a car more agile. We have the opportunity to have aerovectoring. So what does it mean, basically? That this active aerodynamic is divided in two independent sectors. So while you're, for example, facing a turn on the right, what you would like to have is the maximum level of load here on the inner wheel, and you would like to have less load on the outer wheel. So basically we are closing the ALA in this section. So here you have the maximum downforce. On the other hand, we are opening this side of the ALA. So in this case, the air is flowing, we are stalling the wing, we have less load, and we are generating a rotating momentum that gives even more agility to the car. So this is really the secret of this unbelievable patented solution for Lamborghini.
It's a truly extraordinary development in aero, I think. I mean, I always think, you know, aerodynamics, you think in Formula One and in high-performance cars that surely at some point you guys are going to go, that's it, there's no more to be found. I drove the SV around the Nürburgring a few years ago and can't imagine anything being any better or quicker. But this is, and there's another key word here as well, active. Can you talk us through the various active elements and how all of this stuff is integrated with four-wheel steering, all-wheel drive? The whole car is active, and also the importance of drivability as well.
Yes, of course. In fact, the Ala is not the most innovative content that we have. The vehicle dynamics of this car is maybe the most advanced vehicle dynamics platform that is on the market right now, because we have everything active. We have active suspension with magnetorological damping. We have active steering with four-wheel steering and Lamborghini dynamic steering. Active feedback, and then also an active management on torque thanks to the four-wheel drive. And everything is managed by something that we call Lamborghini Dinamica Veicolo Attiva 2.0, so Lamborghini Active Vehicle Dynamics 2.0, that is basically the electronic brain that is controlling all this system and then making them work them together in order to have always the best performance based on driver's input. Just to give you few hints of how all these systems are working together in order to exploit the potential of the Ala, of the downforce. Let's start from the suspension, how they work together with the air load generated by the Ala. The suspension are stiffer, of course, in comparison also to the SV, but on the other hand we can have a constant ground clearance. We have a wheel-to-wheel damping to offer the opportunity to have the optimal body control of the car. So this means basically to have maximum level of grip in any condition, at any speed, or on any kind of road. As you can understand, Nürburgring could be really bumpy, and in this case having always constant ground clearance means having always the maximum traction. And at the end of the day, the feeling that the driver will have is this really precise handling and also the maximum level of responsiveness at driver's input. On the other hand, Ala is also working with four-wheel drive. So when you're turning in, we can put more load on the rear axle, so we have like 5% of torque more on the rear axle. This means basically more agility and also more steering precision. On the other hand, when you're coming out the corner, we can put more load on the front axle, and we are also here speaking about 5% of torque more in comparison to the SV, and this is helping to avoid any kind of understeering and to make the car really, really quick when you're coming out the corner. And also, if you remember, we said that our vectoring is giving like a rotating momentum to the car, and this is enhanced by the four-wheel steering. So making them working together makes this car also really, really fast at the apex of the corner. So this is really the key secret of the car. If you think about the Nürburgring, the most interesting thing is the fact that this car is really, really fast in comparison to the SV, but also to the best competitors, not only, especially in the twisty segment of the circuit, not on the straight. And this is the proof that all this active vehicle dynamics is really added and giving value to this car.
I mean, it looks intimidating, and it's meant to, but in a nutshell, it's got a very positive front end, and it supports the driver the whole way. You talked about the Nürburgring. You've just set a new record around the Nordschleife. Remind us what the lap time was, and also why the ring record is so important for Lamborghini and for the industry, in fact.
Yes, of course. You know, we can speak about of figures of the car in terms of acceleration: 2.8 seconds from 0 to 100 km per hour, 8.6 seconds from 0 to 200 km per hour, top speed over 218 miles per hour. But you know, all these figures are related to just longitudinal acceleration, and they're not giving the idea of the overall handling of the car, because there are many other things that you have to take in consideration. Braking and handling. That's why we are so focused on lap time, because lap time is really give you this kind of figure, the overall performance of the car, exactly. And so with 6 minutes, 44 seconds and 9, we are the king of the ring, and it's really an impressive result for us. Just to give you an idea, it's 15 seconds better than Aventador SV. So it's really a huge leap forward. Yeah, and then this is the value of the aerodynamics, active aerodynamics, but also on Lamborghini active vehicle dynamics itself. And it's something of which we are really, really proud of.
A word to Pirelli. You can't achieve those kind of numbers without very special tyres. The tyres on the SVJ, they're bespoke to this car from Pirelli, aren't they?
Yes, yes. Of course, to exploit all this potential, all this traction, we had to develop with our historical partner 2 different kind of tires, P0 Corsa and Trofeo R. Trofeo R were the one used also for the Nürburgring record. And of course they are stiffer, but the most important thing is they are more consistent over temperature, because we're looking to have something that is reliable on heavy and long track usage. Like, for example, the Nürburgring, you can understand it's a really long track. So we were needed that kind of performance, and only Pirelli could help us doing this.
Okay, last question. Maybe an academic one, I don't know. Some numbers. How many are you going to build, and how much does it cost? And what kind of discount can I have, please?
So we're speaking about a limited edition of 900 units, and the price will start over £360,000. And you know, for us, what is important really is to make this car unique. So for this car, we also developed the widest persona program. You can have this green matte. We have also another nice matte white color for the launch, but basically with that persona you can really offer to the customer whatever color you would like to have inside and outside the car. We can also develop specific livery with them, because the secret of this car, what we would like to have is 900 different cars, because we would like them to be unique. On top of it, we also developed a new limited edition, the 63 edition, and it's basically a half carbon livery. So the top of the car, the A-pillar, the roof, the engine bonnet will be in visible carbon fiber, and we will have the logo 63. Of course, 63 is a celebration of the year in which Ferruccio founded Automobili Lamborghini, and in our way, this car is a way in which we are celebrating our mastership in carbon fiber technologies. And it's a car dedicated to the most loyal Aventador customer that we had in this year.
Paolo, I'm going to need a 98% discount, I think, based on that figure. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. This is Paolo Ricchetti. Thank you for your attention. Have a great day, but come and talk to the guys afterwards and have a good look around the car. Thanks a lot.